Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch for our City Hall update. And today's no exception, Mayor. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Joe?
Doing okay, thank you. I'm going to enjoy some milder temperatures, although unfortunately it's water main break weather.
Well, that's true. The freezing and thawing hits the ground and sometimes pops the pipes.
Yeah, well, they had an issue up on Franklin Street they're working on, and I'm sure there'll be others too, and pothole season.
We don't have, I can tell you this, we don't have nearly the number we used to have, and
right.
I think that's a result of all the work we've been doing on the system.
Yeah, that's true. They used to be popping all over the city.
Right.
C Street was riddled with them one year.
Yeah.
And potholes won't be far behind, right?
That's right. That's exactly right.
The city does have a pothole hotline, by the way, folks should be aware of on the websites. If they encounter one, certainly get on the list.
Yes, they will. You will see some pop the next few days with the weather changes. Absolutely.
Right.
That's exactly what happens.
Mayor, I know there was a meeting again last week regarding plans for the new Squantum Elementary School. How did it go?
Oh, it went very well. It went very well. I think the folks at Squantum are pretty excited about it. I think there's some sentimental attachment to the original building of 1909, and the architects have done a remarkable job in the concept designs of protecting and saving a portion of that building, which was very well received. It was something that was raised back in the fall. We had our first meeting. That there was, concern about just knocking everything down. And the architects, I really have done a remarkable job to date, some of the conceptuals. Now, as you know, we have to go through several steps with the school building authority at the state level. They require certain, studies, I guess you would say, including whether you can reuse the building. We all know that building has got to go, but you still have to go through the motions. So, but at the end of the day, I believe what will happen is the original portion of the building would be saved and reworked into the new structure, with the remainder of the buildings all coming down, and it'll be enveloped with new construction, which will be, I think, it'll be very, very handsome, and I think the people will be very pleased with it.
It's kind of what happened with the new Central Middle School, right? Incorporating the old one a little bit.
Well, the old one we did was the entrance from the Butler Road side of the Central Middle School. We worked inside the auditorium.
Right.
Yes, this would be outside though.
Oh.
This would be the main door of the building.
Oh, okay.
Would still have that facade on it outside. So outside, you'd still have that connection.
Oh, I see. Okay, interesting. Very good.
There's a lot of people that live out there that are, elderly now that went to that school.
Yes.
And there is that attachment to that old facade. So I think it's going to work out well.
Oh, that's great. Any changes as a result of last week's meeting from the original plan?
No, not really. I mean, there weren't many questions this time. There were a lot of questions the first meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I think the architect listened very well and addressed those in the new design. So there were very few questions. We had a model out there as well, so people spent some time looking at the model and seeing how this will fit with the neighborhood. Some of the changes we'll make in widening Huckins Ave, widening Mayflower a little bit, have the correct traffic flow, if you will, specific drop-off sites, parking lot for staff. I mean, it's very well done.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that there weren't any questions that weren't really answered in the design. So I think people so far are very pleased.
What's next?
Another phase with the SBA, and at some point we'll be pricing everything out. We'll be going to the City Council, and Councilor Harris, the Ward City Council, will be leading the effort. And as you know, in these projects, we bond we get the authorization for the entire amount on the bonding. Then we draw down the difference between the reimbursement rate and what we'll have to pay. So at this point, a percentage of the reimbursement, I haven't seen the specific amount, but it'll be better than 50%, which is tremendous.
Okay. And can you talk a little bit about the plans to kind of build the new school while the old one is still in operation and using those modular classrooms?
Yeah, that's the only way to do it. We don't have any alternatives to shift these kids to another building,
right.
So we've got to work with the site we have. The good thing is we have room on the site, both around the school itself and in the park behind it. We've got definitely have some real estate to work with, so. Yeah, the idea would be to bring a certain type of modular classrooms and put them up out back and knock good portion of the building down and put the kids in those while we're, addressing the new building. Those that are familiar with the school, if you're looking at the front, that little low section was the original section, and to the left the gym was added, and to the right that very long linear addition was added. So, you can live without a gym for a little period of time. You can do other things with phys ed, but at the end of the day, you got to have classroom space. You can't have the kids out in the playground trying to learn some things.
Right.
So it's been done in a lot of places, and these module classrooms they're beautiful. I mean, you never know you're in a trailer type setup. So it is a good alternative, knowing that the end product will be something magnificent.
Yeah.
So I think people are willing to, work with us, and a little disruption in order to get there.
Will the grade configuration remain the same?
Yes, it will.
Okay.
Yep.
And so will there be room for more students, Mayor? Will this be a bigger building or the same population?
Yeah, it'd be a little bit more room.
Yeah.
You're always planning for a little bit of growth, although the School Building Authority watches the numbers and projections very closely. They don't want, communities building all this extra space and it doesn't get filled and the state's paying for it. So there is a process by which that's decided. But, we've got a pretty good handle on that. Superintendent, his team, and principal out there, they've done a nice job on what we need. So I think we'll be fine.
Looking at the timeline on the website, October 25 for groundbreaking. Is that still the plan?
That's the goal.
Okay.
Yes, that's the goal. That could move slightly either way, but yes, that's the goal.
Yeah. Speaking of 2025, how are Quincy 400 plans coming along?
Dandy. Absolutely dandy.
Great.
Actually, it's actually decision time. We'll be meeting with my department heads over the next week or so, and a number of other players as well, to really zero in on exactly what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. We're a year out now, so if we're doing certain programming, you've got to book certain things, you've got to get things in the calendar, we've got to work with other community partners to make sure we're not overlapping on their events during the calendar year. So a lot of interest, a lot of excitement. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this. I really do. And specifically, Joe, I know we've talked about some of the projects. Want to be in the ground with the Performing Arts Center sometime in 2025.
Yeah.
There's other programs like the President's Trail signs that we did. We're looking at doing a similar type signage program across the city to sites that are very worthy of mention, whether it's an architectural gym like the Crane Library or the Coddington, or the Art Deco Bank Building of the Square, 1928, very significant. So we're kind of putting those lists together now on those places or stories that should be told, memorialized in a certain beautiful signage program that's being worked on. We've talked about the Heritage Tree program.
Yeah.
We're looking at perhaps a major parade. We'll be looking at a fireworks display. We'll be looking at a gala, probably programs in the schools, whether they're poster contests or essay contests, a number of items that we'll be able to celebrate with. I don't want to do 100 pinky things, Joe. We'd like to do some events that are very significant and will be remembered for a long time. So, we'll keep you posted.
Please, yes, consider us here at QATV one of those community partners, Mayor, in this celebration.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we really want to be part of that to help bring that to the community. We're already working with the Quincy Historical Society, producing some historical pieces looking back over the years.
They're very excited about that, and I think that's been a great addition.
Excellent.
Anything we can do to continue to preserve and tell the stories. I mean, as we talked about, it's not only the 400th of Quincy, but the following year is the 250th, the Revolution, and where the city's history is wrapped into that program as well. So it should be a great couple of years.
Yes, actually, today is the birthday anniversary of John Hancock.
Very nice.
Yes, only a day after yours, Mayor.
Imagine that.
Happy belated birthday.
But a few centuries early.
A few centuries. Not quite in your tercentenary yet.
Oh, no.
Thanks so much, Mayor.
Hey, have a great day, Joe.
Thank you. You too.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.